Math 3, Unit 5, Section H. Okay, today we're talking about simplifying complex fractions. I have put the step up here, or steps for you. The first thing you want to do is find the LCD of the entire expression. So we're just going to kind of go through this example, but if you're looking at the denominators on every single piece, what would be the LCD of this problem? 3x is correct. Okay. We got 3x because this denominator is 3, and this one is x, and they have nothing in common, so we just multiply them together and get 3x. Next step is that you will multiply every term by the LCD. Okay? So I go through and I multiply every single term, whether it has a fraction or not, by 3x, whatever the LCD happens to be. Okay, this first fraction, and the whole purpose of this is to eliminate fractions, right? And so on this first one, do you see how the 3's cancel out? Yeah. So that's good. And then we multiply anything that's left. So x times x is good. Minus. Here, there's nothing to cancel because there isn't a fraction. So we multiply all that together and we have good. Over. The bottom, we're going to have here 3x times 10, which is 30x. Here the x's cancel, and we end up with plus 12. Okay, at this point, you should factor the top and bottom to see if anything can reduce. Okay? And so right now we're on step 3 where we're going to try to reduce. So on the top, what could I do?
X parentheses x minus 18.
Good. And the denominator, what could I take out? A 2, a 3, and another 2. So actually it's going to be, oh no, just a 2 and a 3.
Yeah,
6. And so we're left with
5x plus 2.
Does anything cancel? No. So this is my answer. Nope. Okay. So, next problem, B. What is my LCD on this problem? Yeah, 1y or just y. Okay? Step 2 is to multiply every term by that LCD. So I go through and write times y next to every single term. The first one, y times 1 is y. Plus, here these cancel and we're left with 1. Over xy. Good, write that down. Good. Okay, is there anything that I can factor to simplify? Very good. So I still have y plus 1 on the top, but in the denominator I can factor out an x, and I'm left with y plus 1. So what can happen now? Very good. This y plus 1 can cancel. Now this is where a lot of you make mistakes. It is 1 over x. Remember, if the x is in the denominator, it needs to stay in the denominator. Okay, do we have questions up to this point? Make sense? Pretty easy? Okay, C, I want you to try C on your own. But yes, very good. So on C, the LCD is 5x. Okay, so go ahead and go on through and simplify that.
I feel bad for whoever is watching this over because that's this year for a while out. And they have no idea when to step to.
Texting each other all day long. But they're just friends. Nobody does that to anybody.
That's
true. No guy is like all over some girl.
Although, like, only like two people are always watching video.
I would not want. She would have just gotten knowledge. Honestly, if I was a mean person, I could go on his Twitter and just say anything. I'm a liar.
Oh, that would get me phone.
Holly would do that. Holly has it.
Yeah, I have to.
You guys should just do it together.
Are you gonna put the pictures in?
Yeah. She made me cry.
Same. Honestly, I'm done.
Okay. Sorry I didn't make it around to check your answers. All right. So, is there somebody that wants to come up and do this problem?
Nobody gonna volunteer for reviews.
Okay. So, 5x to every single term. Oh, and just so you know, the correct answer was 10 plus 3x over x plus 5.
Wait.
How many of you got it right? Awesome. Okay. So, if you did not get it correct, every single term gets 5x. Okay, because that's our LCD. Next step is we are going to reduce each of these fractions. So here the x's cancel, and 5 times 2 is 10. Next term, 5's cancel, 3 times x is 3x. Over. Next term, 5's cancel, and we get x. Plus, here, x's cancel, 5. Is there anything that can be factored?
Yep, they're married.
No. Everything is stuck together with glue, right?
Oh,
Okay.
saying if they're married.
You can say that. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, but people divorced.
All right. Okay, last one, D. So look at D and see if you can figure out what your LCD would be.
6 by square.
Very good. Okay, so let's talk through y at 6y squared for those of you that maybe didn't get that so quickly. I always start at my denominators and I look at my numbers first. Okay? So looking at the numbers in my denominators, I have a 3 and a 2, and 3 and 2 have nothing in common, so I'm going to have to multiply them together. So that's how we get the 6. Then you have to take the highest exponent that's in any of your denominators. So while this one has a 1, this has a y squared. We need our LCD to be y squared in order for y squared to end up canceling out. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. So what do I do now that I have my LCD?
Multiply everything by it.
Multiply everything by 6y squared. I'm going to give you guys a chance to finish this one on your own too. If you have the answer, raise your hand. I'm going to actually come by and check.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I did it right.
2 and then 2. Make sure you reduce if you can.
He says he doesn't understand.
Oh no, not now. Oh, you know what? There was a possibility. He was being nice. He was literally as if it was the dirt on the ground. Yes.
So just like we did on here, and you didn't write it all, every single term you should multiply by y. So there's you're multiplying y to 1, y to x, y to another y, and y to the x.
I was so
You wanted to break a window out. You can't pay for that. That's the answer. Honey, be a good girl. We can't figure it out.
And you're actually doing it to the top so that you can cancel. See, like, see, I'm writing.
Do it like
here.
I could have gone with this, but I had to go back to this one. The night before, after I brought it.
That's so good.
No, I didn't even say that. He just owes me $50. I'm not gonna get back. I bought him Netflix and my wife, and I'm gonna myself. And it's car. I'm trying to get like $30.
Oh, you're right.
I would burn all this. I do know that I got a text from someone where I just about she was 6 and
But after that, we'll be good.
You did something. So when you multiply, when you're doing this, that's whenever I was doing it, your 6y squared is on the top, y is on the bottom, right? And so when you're doing that, your y squared is this between 3, which is, there's the only thing that's right. This one, the 3 should have gone into 6, because that is 2y squared, not 18. I think so. Well, then you can factor something out and reduce. You just, I don't know what happened here. You got 3, but 3 goes into 6 2 times. So it should have been 2y squared on that bottom part. Okay, let me go through this. So some of you, okay, these are a couple of things I noticed as I was going around. The 6y squared is always multiplying on the top part of the fractions. Again, we're multiplying them to eliminate fractions. Some of you are kind of writing them at the bottom of each of these. So this 6y squared is going on the top, and so is this one right here. Okay, so going kind of slow, do we notice how on this term right here, nothing cancels? So I multiply everything together, and so I get 6y squared. Joseph, pay attention, okay? Well, I'm going through this, okay? Okay, on this one, so again, if you wanted to, you could put each of these over 1 so you can really see what's on top and what's on bottom, okay? So here, one of the y's cancels with one of these y's. And so what I have left here now is 2 times 6y, which is 12y, okay? Now we go to the denominator. Again, if you want to write these over 1, you can. The purpose is to eliminate fractions. So 3 goes into 6 2 times, and I have 2 times y squared, which is
2y squared.
good. Minus, here, again, if you want to put it over 1, you can. The y squareds cancel. 2 goes into 6. How many times? 3 times. And so we have 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay, now we need to check if we can simplify. So looking at the top, what could I take out? Yes?
For the 6 and 2 on the top, why didn't you reduce that and make it 3 also?
Because they're both on the top. You can only cancel things out if something's on the bottom.
Okay.
Okay? So what can I factor out of the top?
6y.
6y. And when I do that, I'm left with y plus 2. Correct? Okay. Denominator. What can I take out of the denominator?
2.
A 2. And that is left as y squared minus 6. A lot of you didn't notice this, but the 2 and the 6 here can reduce. So this 2 can cancel with this 6 and make it a 3. So my answer is 3y parenthesis y plus 2 over y squared minus 6. Okay, any questions?